shit that I've learned of recently, not from like any academic paper, from like fucking, I don't know, gonzo, fucking gumshoe journalism of knowing Irish people in every fucking city in the world, because we can't stay in Ireland. But I did learn that like the Louvre.
You got it.
I nailed it.
Keep going.
Yeah. So like, I would be like, I don't think I'm exaggerating when I'm saying like, you know, the kind of like one of the cornerstones of like Parisian tourism, like at the very least, like, you know, like the really obvious thing of just like, hey, we need to cut to a scene in Paris in this action movie, so we're going to show it's Paris. There's the Eiffel Tower. But then if it's
action shot though of like the
like it was like the Seine and stuff. Like just don't try and be clever about it. This is the Fast and Furious 13 or whatever. Just show the Eiffel Tower. They're in Paris. Everyone understands you're in Paris. A classier movie. I'm not going to show the Eiffel Tower. That's fucking hack. I'm showing the Louvre.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the classy option.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, also like it looks cool too with like the glass pyramid, you know. And again, remember, you're doing an action movie, which you want to look badass. You don't want to look romantic and lame with the Eiffel Tower. You want to look like, you know, Jason Bourne shit. And the Louvre has a Jason Bourne vibe.
That remake, actually, the Netflix remake of Lupin, uses like imagery of the Louvre like quite heavily.
Yeah, action movie.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's I don't know what it is, but
yep. That's exactly what it's gonna look at. But yeah. Had one of our series used that as like the introductory like shot.
Yeah, absolutely.
The action scene,
and it's like
crashing into the pyramid.
Yes, that's a classic. So like Lupin is like French. Well, like, it's kind of like French Sherlock Holmes in the sense that it's like everyone makes it because it's from the same period and now it's out of like copyright. It's like public domain now. Yep. So like, but he's like a master criminal rather than like a master criminal solver.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't need to know the scenario of the show.
No, absolutely. Sorry. The point I was getting at is that like I found out that they actually have dodgy hiring practices of like if you want a permanent job at the Louvre, it's like you have to be an intern for ages, and obviously like unpaid work for a long period of time favors a certain class of people. We all know this. We've all struggled.
The children of art collectors.
Children of Lupin.
Yeah.
But I also found out for everyone else that makes up the staff of the Louvre, they hire people through a temp agency and then like fire them after 6 weeks, because I believe under French law, after 8 weeks or 2 months, they have to start paying for like your benefits, health insurance, that kind of shit. So it's fun to know that like this supposedly very classy institution is doing this.
I mean, that wouldn't be the first, but the thing that I like. All right, so here's my plan for, you know, Corner Späti, Oceans. Well, I guess there's 4 or 5 of us depending on what day of the week it is. If Rob joins us,
they got rid of that after a while. Now it's just the number. So what like would be Oceans 14?
14? Why 14?
Because that's the next one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was 11, 12, 13.
Well, the first, whatever. Okay, so our Ocean's 14
George
plot,
Clooney has called us up.
Yeah, George Clooney, you know, he's like, my God, you know, I need a podcasting team. But the only reason though is for us to get temp jobs, just so that then we can just like make out an entire like mapped out plan of the museum, and then we get no share of it. Like maybe like we get like, you know, I don't know, they steal the whatever diamond and it's like worth like $40 million, you know, and we get our share of like, you know, a small Patreon donation of $5 a month from George Clooney.
George Clooney shouts us out on his podcast about stealing shit.
Yeah. So that's you know, that's
It'd be worth it.
Next. I mean, you know what?
Huge bump of Twitter followers in the con man community.
Not even for that, just for the glory.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Did you guys ever see the movie not
Now you see me.
Not Fast and Furious. What was the video game that then they made a Need for Speed?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Did you ever see the Need for Speed movie?
No.
The entire plot of the movie is that there's a pretty much, I think he's a race car driver who has a podcast. who calls on all the best racers, like street racers in the world, to race to his podcast studio.
Hell yeah.
That is the plot of the movie. And then at the end of it, Aaron Paul gets arrested for racing to the podcast studio.
What is this movie and why does it exist?
I mean,
It's so good.
that would be like the funniest way to end every Fast and Furious movie going forward. They all end with just getting arrested for all the crimes they did throughout the film.
Oh, yeah, no. You see, that's the thing that then was at least, I mean, okay, first off, the Need for Speed movie did horribly.
Oh, sure.
All right? The only reason I know it exists is because I was scrolling through Netflix or Amazon or one of those one day when I was just like...
The amount of like successful video game movies you can count on your one hand, like basically.
I had none.
It's Resident Evil, I think. And that's only because it was just like a zombie film.
Yeah, it's easy. You can't fuck that up.
No.
Also, Resident Evil had like a good, like had a proper plot of the thing that you can like make a pretty decent movie of. Like, I mean,
Well, no, they did a very bad job. It was a critical failure. It was just financially successful.
what the movie?
Yeah.
Oh no, does it matter if it's
No.
good or not? No, I mean like, but there's how many Resident Evil movies?
Oh, so many.
Yeah, how many Assassin's Creed movies are there?
Prince of Persia got like a movie, right?
Oh yeah,
with Jake
completely forgot
Gyllenhaal.
about that.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
did
a
not do well either.
yeah, that was a very weird movie that I think I've seen weirdly enough.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
It's Jake Gyllenhaal. He's so dreamy.
Yeah.
Why not say it?
What is y'all's take on the Sonic movie?
Oh, shit. I need to see that.
I need to see the Sonic movie too.
And I also... My favorite thing is just that, they made the second one. Two, not a lot of fanfare, actually. I think like the second one got released and a lot of people just did not fucking notice. But the thing was that like the second one gets released, no one fucking notices. I find that hilarious because the second one has Knuckles in it, voiced by fucking Idris Elba. Like,
Wait, what?
Idris Elba voiced Knuckles in the second Sonic movie. I still haven't seen the first one. I really wanted to. If Rob was here, he'd pay testament to the fact that I really wanted to see the Sonic film.
Oh yeah, because Rob is like into like actual cinema. Like Rob,
and I just want to watch fucking film and make Rob watch it and say like, this is like, is film good if it led you to this?
Yeah, exactly. Rob is like, oh, I have like, I have a Here's a movie from a Swedish man who's like, tried to commit suicide 3 times.
Yeah.
It's
so an average Swedish man.
Yeah, exactly. The entire thing is about how his, father makes fun of his penis size or something like that. It's 3.5 hours long, and Rob's like, this is genius.
It swept all the like awards in France, awards in Germany, awards in Italy, and then I just come along being like, Rob, the Looney Tunes are back. Rob, they got LeBron James this time.
Yeah, it's you pulling on Rob's leg on one side, being like, yeah, Looney Tunes back. It's me on the other side pulling his leg, being like, Rob, like the 19th Fast and Furious movie's out. And then Yulia like actually will like watch like
good cinema, probably.
Yeah. No. Okay, so we have 2
Uma?
people like that.
Well, Uma's film takes are also probably good. I don't think she's
not on God tier like Kieran and
No,
I.
we need to like. I think we need to convince her to watch Absolute Trash. I'm trying my best to do that. It's not working out.
Your and I's Absolute Trash is also slightly different, which I appreciate because we get a pretty full circle of
different
trash.
flavors of trash.
Yeah,
like one is like compost bin, and one is like general bin or something like that.
Yeah. We do our Mülltrennung here at Corner Späti.
Which bin goes the like food anime where they come every time they eat? Like what bin does that go?
That's a compost, baby.
That's compost.
Yeah, whereas Fast and Furious is your your recyclables.
Hey. Welcome to your weekly Corner Späti. It is Kieran, and I'm joined by Nick.
Hey.
And we got special guest, returning champ, French expert, because that's when we have you on. It's Flo. How you doing, buddy?
Yo, what's up?
You're in the studio.
Yeah.
Berlin, baby. The city of dreams.
Yeah.
City of dreams.
We flew you
Paris.
Yeah, we flew you out. First class. You're staying at I don't know.
Yeah,
what,
I gotta say, Corner Späti has a really big budget, and they should be using it to start an armed revolution in Berlin, so that we can take first Kreuzberg, and then Mittelscheid, and then just like the entire city, and then like create a commune, and then basically no.
No.
The German left is not that advanced, but
that's why we spend our money on pampering you. The amount of champagne that you've drank this day, like today, has been insane. We got you. We took you shopping. You got your hair done. Everything.
All of our money also comes from the
Thank you,
remaining
patrons.
Habsburgs.
Yeah, exactly.
So
and our shares in gas for some reason.
Yeah, so like the only revolution that we're legally allowed foment is like a monarchist one that brings back Austro-Hungary, but here somehow.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's in the contract, but
Don't let the Patreon numbers fool you.
No,
we're
your money is going to good use.
Getting us nice things. Oh God, I feel that then we can't even make that joke anymore because there's legitimately people who are like, this podcast is not only an op, but they have money and they made 1 month 800 euros, and therefore.
All right, yeah. I mean, there are podcasts that make a lot more money than us, but these haven't used the money for anything. All right. But my goodness, I have some. Speaking of podcasts and content announcements, just get this up top. Viktor Orban is a poster now.
I saw that. Yeah.
Viktor Orban has an account in English on Twitter. He is at PM_Viktor Orban.
The PM stands for Pussy Monster.
It's Hungarian. It stands for Pussy Magyar. Very funny because there was a lot of fanfare about this. What does this mean? And it's I think it's fairly obvious that it's him trying to play to the kind of Tucker Carlson audience that he's found himself attracting and things
Viktor
like that.
Orban is loved by the Trump crew and the international right and he is the smartest thing of him right now that he's been doing. I think everyone kind of forgets too that Viktor Orban of with the Russia-Ukraine stuff has done this very like what you said, neither U.S. nor Russia was the thing of how some old right wingers played it, where he's not really explicitly pro Russia. He's Hungary's condemned the actions of Putin's invasion, but
he's one of the first actually after the invasion happened. I remember that.
And Hungary took in a bunch of refugees and this and that, and Viktor Orban weirdly tried to make himself into a humanitarian figure, and now, but he's also doing the thing of of being that then we're not going to be enthusiastically in support of NATO stuff either, and that he'll still be calling for discussions between Zelensky and Putin, similarly to kind of Elon Musk's thing.
It is, but it's also this fine line of the invasion is the only thing Putin has done wrong.
Yeah,
is
exactly.
Kind of
Yeah.
his take.
Yeah. And so he's, but I mean, that rhetoric is exactly the same one that the right in the United States, there's the right in Europe is kind of, really cashing in right now. I mean, we saw with local elections in Niedersachsen this last weekend, where the AfD did really well because the AfD has been the one party being we don't want German participation in the war, which they don't really. The reason that they don't care isn't of any good humanitarian reason. It's the heating thing. So and the AfD swept up 12%. In a state that they typically did not do very well in.
Holy
in the past.
shit!
Yeah. Was second or third largest party? I can't remember.
I think it's third.
Right.
Yeah.
But pretty close to second, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it was SPD one, the
CDU probably second, right?
I think so, and then the Greens and the Greens and the AFD were pretty close. I don't know the numbers offhand, but I do know that then it was AFD 12.5%.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. So he's got a more English speaking public face one of the tweets.
He speaks English really well, and he went to CPAC and spoke there.
Yeah, he does. But like, I mean, it's a Twitter account. It's possible that there's like a small army of interns in the
No, of course. I'm just
Yeah.
saying it's not unlikely for then Viktor
No.
Orban to become also as much of a Twitter celebrity in the West of like English speaking,
Yeah.
like of an English speaking audience as he already is, because they've loved him for years. I mean, they loved him because of the Syrian thing that he kicked migrants out and shit like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, oh yeah, he's got like, yeah, conservatives love the conservative leader.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But like, so one of his tweets already has just been like, after my first day on Twitter, there's one question on my mind: where is my good friend at real Donald Trump? With like the John Travolta and Pulp Fiction doing
like,
the
"Notice
look
me,
around.
senpai."
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
very notice me, senpai.
No, it's because he's a good poster, I think.
He's getting ready for 2024, definitely. But
Already, damn.
yeah. But this also ties in with Zoltan Kovacs. I'm probably not pronouncing that right, but like,
Kovac, wouldn't it be?
I don't know.
Oh wait, no, he's Hungarian. You're right.
Yeah,
It doesn't
yeah.
matter.
So Zoltan Kovacs or Kovac, I'm not entirely sure. He is head of like public communications for the Hungarian government, and he has started a state official podcast.
Oh, I saw
for
this. Yeah.
Hungary.
Yeah. Sorry, I was gonna announce this at the end of the show.
Yeah.
But I'm leaving Corner Späti.
to join the bold truth about Hungary.
Yeah, it's
Is the
in
name?
English too, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
All right, yeah.
And it's also like named for so like the bold truth about Hungary is like a name, but there's like a very famous book, The Truth About Hungary, which was like the I can't remember if it was like Hungarian or like British Hungarian guy who published a book basically saying everything the Soviet Union did in 1956 and Hungary was cool and good.
Oh yeah, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, do they know that they're doing that? Or like,
Okay, wait, hold up. Based?
just like, yeah, this is the Stalinist podcast.
Yeah, that's awesome.
No, I mean, okay, 56 was a complicated time.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of different views on that. It's going to be, okay.
No, I'm going with what the British Hungarian guy said. Hey, I'm told to listen to local voices more. So
Yeah, I mean, like some of the local voices were like democratic communists and Trotskyists that were like actually killed by Stalin
Yeah,
suppression.
no,
And so-
absolutely. Like, no.
no, but then there's this guy.
This guy's got a podcast.
This guy has a podcast.
okay, I mean, like now you make a convincing argument. I just have to like bow down before the
No.
podcast masters.
But like, it's just very funny that this is like the strategy of Viktor Orban is on Twitter now, which is a platform like Hungarians do not use.
Yeah.
And then like we're also making an English language podcast where like the first episode was just about like
The AFD.
the EU
Oh,
Commission.
us. I thought you meant or them. Yeah.
No, their first episode was about like the EU Commission being mean to Hungary, and yeah, I just find this very funny. This is the content.
I love it
like,
too because it kind of shows the sense of how like all right. First off, the EU Commission, like Hungary needs the European Commission and the European Union and everything to just exist for their right to exist eternally, because one,
Yeah.
nothing ever happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, okay, maybe they'll like be found guilty for being and I quote from the ruling of the judge, a bad boy, but like nothing else happened. Like they literally get like a smack on the wrist. Yeah, they'll like sometimes get like funding held, but then they'll just be
Well,
Hungary.
they haven't yet. They might in the future.
But like that's always the thing of like. Now Hungary, this is like your like 900th, basic, human rights violation. Like, you're gonna be a good boy, for the 901st, right? And they're like, oh yeah, of course. And they keep doing the same bullshit.
And they still get the cap
And-
subsidies.
Yeah.
They still get all the agricultural aid and
They
like
get
it's just-
everything,
yeah.
and then the thing too is that the right's like, see, look, like the European Commission, like they're threatening us all the time, and it's like if they need each other, because the
Yeah.
European Commission can be like, oh yeah, look, see, we told Hungary, and they'll be a good boy next time, and it never like.
So like the strategy of Hungary though in the past has been like we have our bros, we have our posse that like backs us up. Like one of the lessons of like Syriza in Greece is that like you really can't define the EU on your own. Because if you don't have like another member state backing you up, it's very easy to crush you.
Yeah.
And
I mean, because Greece didn't. I mean, like also like the left doesn't like supporting the left.
like there's problems.
And
there.
the right's way better at supporting the right.
Well, I mean, like Hungary has historically had Poland backing them up and vice versa, and also like Hungary. When we talked about Janša and Slovenia, had like this whole media project of turning Slovenia into another country that would back them up, but like.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
I
Janša
had
just,
no idea about that.
Serbia
Janša
too now.
Serbia, but they're not in the EU.
No, of course, but still, I mean, Serbia less so with Poland because Poland and Serbia aren't getting along right now because of the.
This is what I was going to get to. Like, there's now a wedge between Hungary and Poland as well, because Poland is also not happy with like Orban's response to
Russia,
to the invasion.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, I do think the EU is probably going to take advantage of the fact of like, yo, where's your bro? We can do this to you now.
And then Orban's going to take advantage of that with then when more and more, far right wing governments get elected in Europe. And then they'll see, like, I guarantee you that then Italy's position on Ukraine, although they're like supportive, they're probably going to become like, I don't know, it's very confusing because we don't know what the new government looks like as well.
They're also like Italy is actually less beholden to the things that are going to like put pressure on other European governments because they have been they get Russian gas, but before this invasion started on like Germany, for example, they have LNG ports.
Yeah.
They can get liquid natural gas more easily from the US.
Yeah.
They're also much closer to the other countries in the regions that can supply them with gas, like North
Algeria,
Africa. Yeah, absolutely. So like
also there's a pipeline going then from into like from Bulgaria into Greece and stuff like that too that recently got finished up.
Yeah, like that was the thing that like Gazprom said, like due to like an error with some paperwork in Austria, we're cutting you off, and some people are like, oh, this might be a threat to the new government to play ball or whatever. But like people are like, it's probably not a very good threat because Italy has successfully diversified its gas resource like inputs. So like it's hard to tell. I think like the Russian strategy and maybe possibly also Hungary's strategy by extension is that like it's going to be a tough winter for a lot of these countries.
I need to correct myself with the thing of that. Then I meant that in the sense of Southern European countries diversifying their gas imports. Not that the Greek pipeline has anything to do with Italy.
No.
Just so that then there's like there are like slowly. I mean, the thing that's just so funny within like the mainland, like the reason that the gas thing is such a big European issue is because the biggest country in Europe is like having a gas like Germany unable to heat itself becomes a problem for all of Europe because of economically. So then the thing of then Germany trying to get like Azerbaijani gas at the beginning of it, like
holy shit,
like
that's
looking
so
great
much for
now.
being against dictatorships.
That's slightly better than, well, maybe not, but like it's not great. The other option that they're also kind of exploring is just bringing back coal. Like all the coal that like, Germany still has. In the
Germany
ground.
also, yeah. But even like in the sense, like I think that like Greta had a statement that she like found Germany's anti-nuclear thing to be a bit ridiculous.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny that then that like even the Fridays for Future kid like thinks that Germany is insane.
Well, yeah, of course.
No, because it's like I mean, a country that then like the German Greens and German left like love Greta, but they also hate like nuclear power. An issue that I very much disagree with a lot of German leftists about, and I will not argue with them about. Or with anyone about because I'm not going to waste my time with it. But
I mean, okay, we could have some back and forth now. I guess like when the alternative is coal, yes, of course it's dumb. And so that's like literally what the German Greens, the Green Party is like saying, like we're going to open up coal mines. That's fucking dumb, right? Okay, on the French left, the majority opinion is that like except for the Communist Party, like nuclear power is bad. It's really imperialist because like we take all of our uranium from like Niger or Australia or
Kazakhstan. Buy your uranium from Arizona. Come on.
Okay, even in Arizona, there's like Native American reserves. Okay, like there's real good reasons to be against nuclear, and like it takes a lot of water, and so there's all these different reasons for why.
I'm not for like permanent. Like I'm not thinking that then that's like we're gonna live in like BioShock or whatever, like or that like everything's nuclear powered and it's like
I think the other thing about this though that kind of like is hanging over this whole debate, particularly in Germany, is that like even if Germany kept its nuclear plants on or like roll back the decommissioning of some of the ones they had started decommissioning, That's something like 4% of Germany's energy demand if they're all up and running.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a massive distraction to the fact that it doesn't solve the crisis if they're on or off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which sucks.
Yeah, the nuclear debate in Germany is not even worth having. I totally get that. In France, like,
you guys are like dependent on that shit. Like,
yeah, we are dependent. But the thing is, like scientists have published like reports saying that we can get out of it by 2045, which is actually really reasonable. And I think as leftists, like internationally, that's really
no. I think
reasonable.
there is like. I think that the nuclear is a transitional energy. I don't think it's a permanent thing. I mean, there is I think a lot of leftists live in the 1950s, nuclear power. What destroyed Hiroshima and Nagasaki can also power your oven.
Yeah, it's literally the French Communist Party. It's ridiculous.
That's such like an old way of looking at power. Yeah. No, of course. I mean, but like that's whatever.
Socialism for the 20th century, not the 21st.
Yeah. We're not living in a. I don't know. I can't even think of what was Germany like in the 50s. Not good.
I'm going to bring those up every opportunity I get, but it's still very funny that the nuclear plants in the UK are built to have natural gas as their coolant rather than water.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so like there's like nothing remotely non-renewable or like. Like the whole is it green energy or not shit is just so fucking funny because it's like they get cooled with natural gas. It's very stupid. So like there's definitely in degrees of wrong and right ways to do nuclear. That is one of them.
I would love to. Yeah, I don't know.
That's
cool.
That's like a meth idea. And speaking,
well, I mean, the UK is there
was a lot of leaded petrol in the 70s in the UK, and we're still feeling the effects. The speaking of green transition, I think we should shout out Politico Europe's top of their the person they ranked number one on their Politico 2022 Green 28 list of the 28 most green politicians and figures in the world. They gave the number one spot to Vladimir Putin.
What the fuck?
Oh yeah! Oh my god!
Shit!
This is the fucking Politico Europe is hilarious to us.
It's not even funny. It's like what? Like, is it just to be an edgelord? They just want to make a point of it.
I mean, the cynical thing is yes, they kind of okay. So
He's
at point of recording, this has
forcing us to
this has 1,100 quote tweets or whatever at this point. Like this is an engagement bid. But it is fucking Axel Springer. They don't
contemporary journalism. Holy shit! It's just for the sake of the tweets.
It is, but it is also Springer. They're the fact that we are not getting nonstop cheap gas from Russia must mean, from their perspective, that Greta has gotten her way or whatever. Every green person who's gone into the street that they fucking hate has gotten their way. Not that
Matthias,
I wish
Matthias Döpfner is just on his knees, just screaming, Greta!
not that Germany's answer to the lack of fossil fuels has just been let's get fossil fuels from somewhere else.
Yeah, this is their con.
Yeah,
let's get Azerbaijan's gas so that we can power our nuclear power plants.
That's right.
That's holy shit. I haven't
now
heard of
when
this.
you turn on the heating in Germany, you are committing social murder of Armenians, basically.
Yeah.
So that Azerbaijan can make another museum to all the murdered Armenians that they killed.
Yeah.
Did you see that? There was an article about that recently that they found out about the war museum that exists in Azerbaijan somewhere that just is war trophies. It literally is called the War Trophy Museum.
Oh no.
But it's Europe is finally figuring out that damn, Azerbaijan might be a kind of evil country.
They're Turkey's friend, and Turkey's in NATO.
War Trophy Museum? Sounds kind of like the Louvre.
Hey, we did it. All right, rounding it out.
France, baby. We're back.
It's a French episode.
Yeah. We traveled to Europe a little bit. We took you to Germany. We took you to Azerbaijan. You may have then in that trip from Germany to Azerbaijan, done some lobbying in Germany for behalf of the the Azerbaijani government, and you may die in a plane flight to Cuba.
I really love the idea of the Azerbaijan government like lobbying the CDU, and all they do is just sit them down in a room, grab out a boombox, and it just plays like Azerbaijan.
Oh yeah, the old
anthem.
Yeah.
We're
God,
just saying Azerbaijan really loud a little bit, and then everyone like all the CSU
yes,
just like Azerbaijan.
Yeah, I wonder like how much money are they getting, because they just like, you will see this in the US too, where you'll see a lonesome like not local but like a US House of Representative, like normally like it could be any party.
It's still very low stakes because it's not Russia, it's not China, it's Azerbaijani money. So I've got like the third. I've got like some guy called Rumpel Chadson or whatever American.
Yeah. Just like a representative from representative from like South Dakota that no one cares about.
No, not even that. It would be like he's like Speaker of the House in like the South Dakotan Senate. Yeah, like not even federal politics.
Yeah, and he puts something forward of the ban of sinister Armenian behavior.
Yeah, there's like 3 counties in South Dakota. Just like will not play System of a Down on the radio or whatever. Just like,
yeah. So I mean, we did our little Europareise, Weltreise, if you will, and now we're back. We're back in the central of Europe. That's right. It could either be France or Germany, and you know what? It's France.
Twin engines, baby. Vroom vroom.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So,
what's going on in the French speaking part of the world now that we've pampered you, we got you all the free stuff, not paid with Azerbaijani money.
Yes, that's our guarantee to you.
Quarter Späti,
the only German podcast that is not subsidized by the Azerbaijani state. The rest are. I'm willing to say it.
Yeah. So what's going on in the streets?
Right. For the past 2 weeks, oil refinery workers in France have been on strike at Exxon and TotalEnergies. So there's a lot of reasons for that, like inflation and the energy crisis leading to higher prices for everyone. Even like workers who work at oil refineries have to pay higher gas prices at the pump. But what I also want to talk about is a recent action against TotalEnergies that happened in Belgium. So I guess we'll start with that first. TotalEnergies is, I think, the largest French oil company. There's plenty of reasons to be against it.
They're an oil company, which is maybe the first.
Yeah, that's a good one. Second one, they're French.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I mean, actually, Total tried to like not call itself an oil company at one point. I think last year they.
Hang on.
They did the BP thing where they changed their name from British Petroleum to Beyond Petroleum.
Oh,
that is their official name now.
Sucks.
Total actually tried to do some rebranding. So they used to be just called like Total straight up, and like TotalEnergies sounds more green for some reason to them. So they redesigned their logo last year. But 91% of their activity is still in oil. So obviously they're just a disgusting oil company, and whatever they try to do in the green
oil
energy
company
sector.
and other assets.
That other 9% is.
You know why they do that though, right? Is because then they get government write-offs for then say that they're investing in like, so at the end of the day they like know like, yeah, it's like obviously because like Chevron does the same thing in the United States. I remember because you'd see the commercials of like, here at Chevron we're investing in algae. It's like, yeah, like that's never gonna fucking happen. Like
I watch a lot of that. Like, I don't know if anyone knows, but like Samsung smart TVs have like a free view kind of like bullshit channels where you can just watch like German animal documentaries over and over and over again. When they'll just pump in the odd like ads, but it's all very like digital and automated. The ads just come at any random point. Getting a lot of Shell ads of like, yeah, we're investing in algae and electric cars.
Don't look into what the percentage of it. Don't look at it as like what our taxes look like. All right, you know what? Hold up. Shout out to Shell though for Shut up.
A real
Shut
ass
up.
dude
Yeah.
of the week.
Real ass dude of the week. No. Shell, I do appreciate that. Then I don't think Shell has ever changed their name for the past like hundreds of years. We're just like the Royal Dutch Shell Company or something.
Yeah, it's still like some fucking East India company.
Like,
Fucking
they're like,
shit.
not only is this extraction bad for the environment, baby, it's imperialistic, it's fucking colonialism, it's all the shit.
Well,
You know,
like, yeah,
even it's even monarchist at the same time.
We're gonna watch some British pate video from the 50s being like, and now here it is, the founding of the Royal Dutch Shell Company, formerly known as Fuck All Indonesians Company. It's like, I see. It's one of these, is it? But yeah, actually,
Well, hold on. I gotta maybe the rebranding is.
yeah, 91% is only now in like owning Bahasa Indonesia. But yeah, sorry, Total.
Total, yeah.
Total. Where do they get their oil? Where does the French oil come from?
It comes from all over the world.
Okay.
But
They're just buying shit. Like it's not necessarily just French territory.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's your classic case of a multinational. But one of the big things that is worth pointing out is EA COP. So there's a pipeline that's currently being constructed in East Africa. So East African Coastal Pipeline, and it's under a lot of protests right now in Uganda. There's actually some students that got arrested there for protesting. And it's also, there's a lot of NGOs that are supporting this effort to highlight what's going on in East Africa. But like there's expected to be like 100,000 people that would just like get totally fucked over by EA COP. So East African crude oil pipeline, it's just ripping through like a bunch of places where there's like biodiversity hotspots, and also like a lot of communities that rely on the local areas for just like water, for agriculture. And it's just like we're taking all of that, and obviously we're not going to be like redistributing the profits back to the communities. It's just going to be really disgusting. And so,
God, no, in Africa? No.
What? No, what?
so basically, it's your classic case of French imperialists coming to Africa and
they love doing
taking all the natural resources
That's
and
like their
doing fuck all
favorite
with
thing
it.
to do. It's like that and adultery.
So, but also closer to home, there's French workers that are striking against Total because they're struggling to pay bills. While Total makes record profits. So they just recently did a $2.6 billion euro payout to shareholders, and they're expected to make over 90% more profit this time of year than they did last year. They also are polluting local small Belgian towns, including a town called Ecosen and Fluy, which is an industrial park that got targeted by an action of climate activists this past weekend. So in the industrial park of Faloy, there's like plastic micropellets actually that have been found in local like rivers and waterways.
Sure.
So it's just a bunch of disgusting shit in France, in Belgium, in Uganda, in all of East Africa. Total is just responsible for all this bullshit. They make a bunch of profit off it, and they're not redistributing it back to anyone, whether it be like workers in the pipeline in East Africa or in France. So given all this, there's been a recent effort of organizing a not only a protest in the local town of Ecosen, but there's also been a blockade of 3 different industrial sites held by Total by a coalition of environmental activists and left-wing activists called Code Rouge, which is Code Red in English and Code Rood in Dutch. So Belgium drew together like a lot of activists from Flanders, from Wallonia, and also from the Netherlands and France, and even like there's a couple people from the Spanish state, and like just international activists that came together for this past weekend on the 8th and 9th to block 3 industrial sites for a day. So one is called it's the Faloy Industrial Park close to Ecosen. Another is Namur, and another is and Louvain. So all these places are in Wallonia, which is historically closer to France. They're francophone, about 4 million people, really left wing actually. So like the Belgian Workers' Party there has
PTB
PTB. They got like about 20% in like local polling. So the context is heated, like politically and also ecologically. Like these people are being fucked over by all these like industrial sites. Not only Total, but there's also a company called Ineos that was blocked when the activists blocked these rails. I'll be honest, I'm not sure if this is going to be edited out or if I should eventually edit it out. But yeah, I took part in this action. We were blocking rails with 300 activists, and there was another group, another contingent that was blocking a canal with paddle boats and with kayaks, and then there was another contingent that blocked a bridge. All of these were to stop different cargo ships and different cargo wagons from using the rails that only the company was using. So no like working people were like blocked. It was just the companies purely themselves. It's not like we block roads like Extinction Rebellion. Although Extinction Rebellion and other green activists like not activists from Greenpeace, but the action was endorsed by Greenpeace.
Right.
And there was activists from like far left political parties, including the anti-capitalist left in Belgium.
Cool.
So like this drew together a bunch of different people from a bunch of different groups. And it was actually modeled after Ende Gelände. So a lot of your German listeners may know Ende Gelände is a environmental direct action coalition that draws together activists from all over the world to block. It was usually a coal mine in Western Germany, and now it's this year it was the ports of Hamburg, which are slated to be a site where LNG terminals are going to be used to import American gas. So obviously, a lot of your listeners have are probably like eco-socialists or like
we've also talked about Ende Gelände before, like one of the very, very first episodes, because like we started this podcast like a couple of months before like the 2019 Ende Gelände kind of event out. And
I remember.
Yeah. So it's back there as a very old episode, but yeah.
I mean that's Ende Gelände is the perfect example of like social and climate activists coming together, and there's a perfect intersection of both. And so I think it's a really great model, and that's why a lot of people from Belgium actually came to get training at Ende Gelände so that they could take this model back and use everything they learned to do the blockade of these 3 sites. So
I just thought about that scene in Der Bader-Meinhof complex, where they go to Jordan to get training so like the RAF could exist in Germany.
I mean,
That's a comparison you could make.
Yeah, I mean, yes. I mean, like we gotta have like a base state.
Have we never done an episode about that movie? By the way, that's like a pinnacle of like German left film.
I have not watched this.
Oh, it's like 2.5 hours long, but yeah, we can.
Do any anime people comment it? No? Okay.
No, but I mean, like, when it comes to German movies, it's actually not a bad one.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, it's actually true that, like, having a country where it's, like, really easy to do, like, civil disobedience and illegal actions that, get the goods for climate activists and workers, like, that's actually good that, Germany serves as a model for like as a training site basically for other European activists who want to replicate the same thing. So that's why this small contingent of Belgians actually got some of their training at Ende Gelände. So thank you, German. I mean, thank you to the German.
Thank you, Deutschland.
Thank you, Germany. You are my best friend.
All right. So thank you to the German left because like I know
that's better. Yeah.
Obviously, like the German left always gets kind of down and
we're a sad
like
people.
Yeah, exactly. Like just really y'all are going through a purgatory right now. There's not very much going on. Die Linke is in a bad state. There are these like anti-parliamentary or like extra parliamentary examples of activism and direct action that are being done in Germany that are actually worthwhile. I mean, there's like Lutzerat, which is like an occupied coal mine that's being that's being occupied by climate activists. So like there's good examples where y'all can actually help the international left, even if it seems like the national context is not very hot right now in Germany. So
the word hot just makes me think of that whenever Trump says hot. It's just like, the international context is hot.
yeah.
Which I feel Rob says that better than I do.
Die Linke, not hot. Climate activism, hot.
Die Linke, not hot.
Or I mean, I guess hopeful. Yeah.
No, hopefulness, not hot.
More
But,
sober
tone.
Blocking a coal mine.
That's hot, baby.
Yeah. Left-wing Trump, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, basically, after these 3 sites were blocked, I guess I can talk about like some details of how it was like. I guess the way it works out is we got training beforehand. There was like online trainings and like in-person trainings in different cities in Belgium where activists can meet up before the action to plan it out. And affinity groups were formed. Like you usually have like 6 to 8 people in your affinity group. We all get together. We designate one person to go to a spokes council where like decisions can be made on the spot. And also like the coalition that plans the actions is like democratic to a great extent. Hopefully. I wasn't in the planning commission, but basically they have like a consensus that they agree to, like we won't be violent, we won't do XYZ, and these are the targets. And like the activist volunteers that get recruited to do the action, when they're on the spot, we actually don't know the final location or the final target. So you find out when a decision is made and when it's to avoid basically like police intrusion and, because that has happened, that can happen. And, also if like careless activists just like disclose the location, that could like blow up that could poor choice of words. That could tarnish the,
it's the same stuff that like Ende Gelände does. If anyone's taken part in it, I'm not going to go into details of it, but I know firsthand that, not that I participated, but that friends have, and they're really secretive about like even like joining up for meetings and whatnot. You have to like join like a signal group and this and that in order because that's like the most secure one and blah blah.
Is it like it's a classic German tech surveillance paranoia stuff, but like
which like actually like.
Matters.
In this case matters,
shit,
yeah.
Like this is the kind of shit that it matters. Like the joke you can have with some like German left stuff is they'll do it for like a reading group. And it's like, no.
Yeah, they're like, all right, my Leninist reading group of me and 3 friends. Like we're gonna make an encrypted, chat
built app.
Yeah.
But like climate activism against like big fossil fuel.
Yeah, understandably, yes. Because I mean, we've seen this though too. I mean, like probably the most like internationally, maybe not even international, but it's like the biggest one of late has been was it Steven Donziger's where Chevron sued him, or like he sued Chevron on behalf of the indigenous people, won the case, and then Chevron sued him back.
Countersuit,
and then he had a 900-day house arrest or something.
Holy fuck!
It was bad.
Like it's again one of those weird issues where then like I shared it with my mom and she's like, oh yeah, this is not good. Which someone who's like quite right wing, and we're like, this is bad.
Yeah, damn.
Anyway.
Damn. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, like some of that security culture is used and was used in this action. So it is modeled after Ende Gelände, and the buy-in is high. Like you to participate in something like this and civil disobedience in general, you have to be ready to go through some steps to make sure that communication is secure, etc. But basically what happened was, at least on the rails, in the contingent that was blocking the rails, we slept on the rails at night. We were ready to do arm locks in case the police came. The police actually did not come. So this was so successful that in contrary to in the action at Endeglinde, the police were so outnumbered in Belgium that they did not put up any resistance. There was no attempt by police to...
austerity works, folks. There's not enough cops.
I guess like some people did get apprehended for a couple hours and they got immediately released, but they just didn't have like the manpower to take people out like off from the rails one by one or out of boats or whatever, like, or out of kayaks. Like in the distance we saw like some water cannons, but they weren't used. We were next to a wagon and on rails. Also, like we saw some plainclothes officers who took photos of us and like.
Oh, shit. That's always fun, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't do anything. It's like they're not going to arrest us. We're like 1,000 people and like.
Me and my crew, and it's it's like
me and 1,000 of my best friends.
Yeah, and like some police officers mounted on horses, took photos in the distance. So, but to be honest, basically this was more successful than Endeglinde in the way that like there wasn't nearly the level of like police violence or like people getting arrested or taken. Basically, we stayed the night. In the morning, we decided to leave and go all regroup at one central location. Professional and volunteer photographs took photos of activists and like with their masks on, and also asked permission to take their photos. Media coverage was really good. It was in all the major Belgian newspapers and TV, RTBF, RTL, Le Soir, like all these major newspapers and TV channels. They were talking about it for like at least basically 2 days, which is good for like 1,000 people. Like 1,000 people is not too much for the country of Belgium.
A news cycle that very rarely stays on the one topic for more than one day.
Exactly, which was not the case with Endeglinde. And on the same day that Endeglinde did their like host of actions, you had like major events going on with the invasion in Ukraine and etc. So like all of, but also like. I guess like the German media market is much larger, so in Belgium it was way more consequential, and there was also like a televised debate between like the leader of the PTB and like some conservative politician. Sure. So like it was really pertinent, for televised debates between. Yeah. So basically, we really got it at the right time. Also, there was the French strikes going on, which we'll talk about in 1 minute. Basically now the follow-up is like post-action there's going to be committees that will continue to receive like internal commentary about how the action could go better from participants that were in it, and the coalition partners that organized it, the main organizers, will get together to do something next year. So be on the lookout if you live in Germany, France, or Belgium, or anywhere in Europe or abroad. You can support this in the future if you're so interested. Okay, so the day after the action, 400 people demonstrated in the small town of Ecosène in the countryside, and so it was a good opportunity for union leaders, also like anti-poverty activists in like associations in Belgium, to get together to show solidarity and to bring together climate activists from all over and these local people from Wallonia. So I just felt like being there for that protest was really cool, because like you can feel and you could see it in their eyes. Like people in the Francophone part of Belgium are like really ready for radical change. I mean, it's not just like the Poles and whatever, but there was like Gilets jaunes people from Wallonia who were coming to the action as it happened, and they were saying like, yeah, we tried to block Total in like 4 years ago, and y'all finally did it, and so you accomplished our wildest dreams. And like it was really, really gratifying, but it was also like, damn, there's a future that could be built here between like the climate activists and like just normal working people in like rural Belgium.
I think that this is a thing that I don't want to step on anyone's toes about climate activism because I do think it's very important, but there is like always this. It differs by country, it differs by region, this and that and that. Yeah. Where the thing that then's like always like Endeglinde actually does this well, where they have like a full plan of like what to do about like the RWE coal refineries and whatnot. That they would have like the idea then is that they would get like payouts from the German government, this and that that then like local communities that then who participate in workers of like RWE wouldn't be like left out and just like there isn't like this I don't know how to word it. There is a lot of I think it comes from like a lot of like this like bourgeois green sort of stuff. I hate using the fucking word bourgeois. Of that it's just like, oh, just end it now, workers, whatever, fuck it, this and that. But like there needs to be like a level of endorsement too, also then from not just like it has to be fully endorsed as well by like the workers of like no, like. They work at the plants. The thing that like we are supporting of working class politics, regardless of where it is in Europe, this and that, like that, whether, yeah, like I mean, whether you're a traditional factory worker that the left pretends is like still a thing in Germany, or you live in a small town and you're at the you're like actually working at the coal factory or whatever, Like this is one of those weird ones that made up left is real. And like Die Linke in Germany like actually does kind of have a pretty good position to Endeglinde and to this as well, depending on which like region that they're in. But there needs to not like be like so like snooty about then like getting the endorsement from this class of people, because this is like this is who you want on your side also too, because like as we're gonna see with France, they also can fucking do a lot of damage if they just decide not to work. And they are like, I mean, given I think the politics in France within the unions, because like the recent the recent strikes in France have been pretty much like backed by CGT, who is the more radical union as well. Mélenchon also then ends up as well then to endorsing him. I believe it was yesterday. So there is there is this momentum happening across a broader sense of whatever, like Francophone Europe or whatever you want to call it. But I am just really scared of the sense when this reaches Germany, if it reaches Germany, and it just gets like hyper like academicized or whatever. And
you also have like the unions here are very
professionalized,
very
hyper
unions.
professionalized.
They're not like they don't really engage in radical actions as much.
It's illegal for them to.
Yeah, fair.
One last thing.
Yeah, of course.
I should have contextualized this actually at the very beginning, but the closure of these 3 sites due to the action with Code Rouge actually led to the closure of all sites of TotalEnergies in all of Belgium for an entire day, and it cost the company 12 million euros.
Yeah.
That's sick.
So
Hell yeah.
It was a complete victory.
We get that now, right?
Complete victory. It was talked about in all the media. Now on to France. Basically, the whole thing is like these last 2 weeks, there's been, as Nick said, strikes called on by the largest union in France, the CGT, in Exxon and in TotalEnergies, at multiple locations, especially in the north of the country.
Yeah.
But basically,
so like the north is like the deindustrialized.
Well, so the thing that then it started with was that there was it started as a memorial of the workers went on strike because of a death that happened in 2016 of a worker, and then it broke into further protests that then are connected with the current situation with
cost of
living and whatnot in France, because it was there was an accident at that site, like it's like in Normandy, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and they called a strike in response to them that there was in 2016 there was an accident that never got like compensated or solved or whatever. Like there was never any changes for like work like protection of workers and this and that, and so they went on strike on the remembrance of that day. 7 years later, or wait,
was it Lubrizol or was it in another?
I don't know. Like, all I know is that then like what I am telling you is literally all I know.
Okay.
In the sense that then that this strike was planned like a while ago, and then has been bleeding over now into more strikes because of the current situation. But it started because of a labor strike that's been going on since 2016.
Yeah, pre-planned.
Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense. No, I mean, like, this is the perfect time for it to happen just because of like the international context with gas and oil, and also like inflation hitting hard in France.
We also have like a global kind of, I mean, it's happening in Ireland, the UK, it's happening in Germany. I have to assume it's happening in France as well. Of like this labor shortage thing where like workers are actually in a position of power at the moment because. We talked about it before, but like shops here in Germany are closing for lunch now because there's just not enough people to there's only one person working basically. They just can't find workers. So there's this.
Oh, so they're becoming Southern European. They're taking a little siesta.
Well, there's the fucking axe that Damocles over their head isn't there anymore. Of like we can all be fired because we can't. You need us, and therefore, like I know France has always been a bit gutsier about this kind of thing, but like.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, unions work differently where like you can have like a section of the workplace go on strike, and so it's not as powerful as like strikes in the US, and like we have a higher unemployment rate than in the US. So I totally get what you're saying about like just like workers are in a position of power, but it's not necessarily a given in France. But the fact that this is happening in a really, really strategic industry at this moment in time means that it could really spill over, and it is into other industries. So you have the CGT also in the public sector. The public sector workers are going to call for strikes in.
I'm just over here rooting it all on. I want to see a general strike in France.
Nick is just like raising his fist.
This is so sick. Yeah, because the rail workers are probably going to go on strike. That's like actually like pretty likely.
Yeah.
So weren't there huge strikes at like was it the Gaulle airport and stuff like that, or like the main one in Paris?
There's almost always like yes. Okay. no, but I think it was like a month ago exactly. Yeah.
And then that caused strikes that happened in Denmark and the Netherlands and like.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, well I didn't follow through, but
because like obviously
let's go. You know what the French like? I mean, you know, I shit on the French a lot.
Yeah.
You know what? They're full of themselves.
And rightfully so. Sometimes.
You know what? They suck.
Well, you know, it's great to be a French person because me and my wife's 3 boyfriends are going to go on strike.
Yeah, exactly. You know, gonna go. You know,
my wife is 20 years older than me, and she's hot. God damn it.
Exactly. You know, yes, me and my. You know, it's not a polycule. It's just it's just vibing.
My wife's boyfriend.
Exactly. You know, we're going to go just light up, you know, like 6 Peugeots on the side of the street because why the fuck not?
But in all seriousness, like the thing that always happens, because you saw this happen in the States as well, is like when a strike does happen, there's always like this effect of other workers just going like, oh yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, for sure.
And like, and then like, it's obvious when it's like the same linguistic sphere or the same country, but then you also remember like, when it's an airport, it's a lot of people like I spend like my lunch break was in Amsterdam and like I'm sleeping tonight in fucking Beijing or whatever. Like when you see a strike happen in France, it's going to have consequences in other countries because they're all fucking flying around the place. So.
Y'all remember under Trump, like there was the air traffic controllers that didn't work for like 3 hours, and then Trump immediately reopened the government after it was like at a shutdown like for like a month. It was like, bro, at that moment, I think it was like the 2020 elections, and like, bro, when I was back in the US, it was like, holy shit, this was so inspiring because like literally like 10 people decide not to work and the whole fucking country opens up again. It's like,
well, it's because like we put like one guy in a tiny office in charge of like all air traffic for like 5 states, and you're just like, oh yeah, that guy's a lot of power actually.
It was crazy, but okay, so I mean, there's examples of like strategic industries being used for strikes that will lead to social movements later down the line. Like for example, 2019 in Chile, like there was a transport strike that really paralyzed the country. That also like coincided with like rising tide of student radicalism, and now we have Gabriel Boric. Okay. not going to take a position on board here.
I was about to say, like, wait.
Yeah, I mean, he's not the best
Moving
now.
on.
Not the best. It was better than the far right, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like,
get betrayed by
we'll take them as they come, I guess, in that sense.
Anyways, so yeah, this also coincides with like a Belgian strike in the transport sector that happened recently. So like, I mean, there's so many, and like the UK, Great Britain also had like a series of strikes.
Yes.
The rail worker strike and the
months.
post worker strike. The post worker strike's happening today, I think, actually, that they're going on strike.
The rail workers strike inspired a handful of others to go
Yeah.
ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, so in this whole like international context of radical strikes, like you have like in the local context in France, this has caused like the so the government has actually responded. So Macron is chastising unions, saying that now is not the time to strike.
Yeah, he loves that.
He demanded they go back to work, which is just like such like a Jupiterian complex, which is like, bro, like, do you not understand what's going on?
Yeah. And like the Prime Minister, Elisabeth Borne, she's called for a requisition of workers to go back. And like this is literally forcing people to work, like literally against their like.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're now it's now on the table that arrests could possibly be made if then these gas workers don't go back to work, which is insane. First off, also it's really hilarious to me how they've been on strike for 2 days, 3 days.
Yeah.
Like it started
like
on
2 weeks, but yeah, it's been like
expanding
expanding the last
but
the last couple,
I mean, like,
3 days.
but the ones from like the
response came after.
No, but like the workers outside of Normandy started like at the beginning of the week. Like it's like piggybacking on other stuff as well. But the fact that then within the last like literally the last 3-4 days it's gotten so like it's blown up into proportions of then that now there's like slowly becoming more movements in other areas of France to the point that then like Mélenchon went to strike or not but he went to like a solidarity protest with like CGT and hilariously would not speak to any media, like just came, did his thing, and then just left. But like that you're seeing then this level, like, I mean, all the problems of Mélenchon, the fact that he's like in such a quick response, this has already then like kind of been like, all right, yeah, like this is a moment, like let's go. The threats of then also like like arrest looming over these people as well is this is like clearly has economic consequences to France that Macron's government does not want.
Yeah, for sure. In 2010, under Sarkozy, there was like similar strikes going on in this sector and against like pension reforms. And so Sarkozy just sent a lot of like police officers to take everyone back to work. And like they were threatening like, okay, you'll get a 10,000 euro fine if you like stay on the picket line. And it's just like really disgusting and it makes people scared. But that is not what is happening here. People are getting really inspired. This is the right time. As you said, Nick, there's like politicians going to the picket lines and saying like your struggle and our struggle is the same. This is the right time for us to mount our reivindications, not only for higher wages and against the pension reforms, but also for like ecology. And so, the unions are asking for like a 10% increase on wages. And they also want like, so it's mostly about wages to catch up to inflation. And actually, very recently, today, TotalEnergies has said, like, we will be willing to go to the negotiation table with you at 8 p.m. So we'll see, like, maybe we can check some headlines later but to see what happens. But the CFDT, one of the more reformist unions, they said, yeah, let's go to negotiations. I haven't checked the news to see if the CGT is, like, doing that, but we basically made them fall to their knees. Like the people, the unions, the climate activists, we made them fall to their fucking knees, and it feels really good. And like, this is, I mean, the government had to like literally nationalize certain
I forgot about this. Yeah, they did that at like 3 months ago or something like that, right?
Yeah, we and like in just the past few days, like the Macron has just had to like requisition entire like refineries and like storage sites, and it's really amazing how like just yeah. Also, maybe like on the line by line, like you have Total spreading some lies and saying like, oh well, these workers they get like 5,000 euros a month. You shouldn't feel bad for them.
If I got $5,000 a month and what after taxes in France is like what $2,000 a month or something like that. I would still be pissed.
Yeah. And like first of all, like oil refinery workers like probably have to go through like really shitty conditions and like
for $60,000 a year. No, thank you. Like $60,000 before taxes a year.
And then also,
do you know how many mistresses I have to pay for?
Well, also like. This is literally not true. Like workers say it's more like 2,500 a month. And also like with rising costs, inflation, etc. Like if you live in the countryside, like if your partner doesn't have a job.
But also for a company that is making record profits.
Exactly. 2.6 billion euros in payouts. Like they can obviously afford to just like immediately end the strike and just fucking pay people. And like they would solve the whole problem. It's not the workers, it's the company, bro.
They're called shareholders. Yeah. They work really hard by
sitting
down and
25-page PDF.
Yeah.
Cost 42 million.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
Scandal. Yeah,
but like shit, like this also like one of the things that this is all reminding me of is that there was a work stoppage and strike in Norway as well around the like oil refineries.
Yeah,
and that got like forced arbitration by the government, which. Talking to some Norwegian comrades and stuff, they're like, that always favors the companies, not the workers. Like they got like a pay increase, but that was not in line of inflation and stuff like that. And it's like, again, one of the underlying things of this whole energy crisis is that like average people are currently or are going to pay a lot of money for their energy bills, for their heating bills. But these companies are making fucking bank right now.
Oh yeah, because they're the reason that your price is going up is not because of gas shortages, it's expected gas shortages.
Yes.
Or expected crises or whatever.
And also like what like Russia has been able to do to the global market. So even if you're a country like the UK or Ireland where like you don't get a lot of your gas from Russia or oil from Russia, it's still going up. Mm-hmm. So like, and that money is still fucking going somewhere. It sucks. It really sucks, and they can definitely afford to like pay these people decent wages.
On that point, the CEO, his salary increased by like 56% in 1 year, and now he makes like 6 million euros a year.
Well, that's
after taxes is about $1 million. So he's also struggling.
Like, he's got like 12 mistresses and his wife has 14.
Yeah.
So,
he's also taking home just 200,000 at the end of the year, which is that's nothing.
He needs
it.
So it's just obscene and disgusting. And basically, in response to all this, a lot of unions have planned further strikes and renewed their vow to strike. So
I'm fist bumping over here. Pro general strike Nick over here.
Yes, we are so close to that situation because on the 16th, this Sunday, we got all the left-wing political parties in France are getting together in Paris for the Grand March against expensive high costs and climate inaction. So you got all these political parties going to bust their people and their members and students' unions that sign petitions across the country that are going to go be in Paris to protest against the government. And then 2 days later, Tuesday next week, is going to be when the RATP, the Paris railway workers are going to strike, and apparently the CGT public sector members are going to go on strike. So France is so close. France is so close to this general strike situation, and there's reasons to be hopeful. If you're feeling down, don't be, because we are so close, bro.
Move to France.
Yes, no, stay in Germany. We need comrades here to start the revolution here. All right, so with that, I guess we can wrap up with the statement. I want to read this statement because it's kind of interesting. It shows solidarity between climate activists and striking workers in France. While with the climate activists who were blocking the site in Belgium, we wrote this collectively and we wanted to share it in solidarity with striking workers.
Will it be in French?
It'll be in English.
Oh,
So
fuck. I wanted to hear it in French. I thought that'd be really cool.
It'd be hot.
I mean, I could do it again in French, but okay. Today we blocked Total, and we are not alone. In Nantes, the workers have been on strike for 11 days already. Their demand is clear. We want social justice. Concretely, it's a wage increase. But instead of respecting their demands, Total plans to distribute 15 billion euros to shareholders. This is an insult to all workers around the world. For this reason, and in response to our blockade of TotalEnergies here in Feloy, people have blocked Total's sites in Liège, Namur, and Bruxelles. Together with our actions, we want to express our solidarity with the workers. The CGT, the union behind the strike, said, "There is no social justice without climate justice." And we are here to say that the opposite is equally true. The skills and knowledge of the energy sector will be needed for a just transition to a carbon-free economy. We claim the right to a decent life, not a life of imposed poverty. We claim the right to live on a livable planet. This transition requires the combined efforts of all the exploited and oppressed to destroy their common enemy, fossil capital. Our actions are part of this historical continuity of the struggle for social and climate justice. We express once again our solidarity with the strikers in Nantes and with all oppressed workers in the world, and to those for whom the climate crisis is already a reality. We repeat once again, there is no climate justice without social justice.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's a perfect note, I think, to end on.
Yes.
sure.
So,
Yeah.
Flo, thank you again for coming on. You shouted out some great things here. This will come out on Monday, so do check out the thing that you mentioned on Tuesday, because the Sunday thing you mentioned will have already happened.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to shout out, and where can people find more Flo?
I actually don't have anything to shout out, or I guess
Do not find Flo. It is illegal
Flo
to
is
observe Flo.
Flo's a ghost. Yeah.
Flo is not real. It's me doing an accent.
Yeah.
yeah. But thank y'all for having
American
me on.
accent?
Yeah.
And hopefully I hope to see Corner Späti in Paris sometime. If y'all ever do an
Yes.
event, like a live podcasting event or whatever, like just
We'll
looking
block
forward to that
another
day.
more successful show.
Yes, exactly. In the true spirit of that. Well, then, on that, before we go,
Oh, yes.
we have an announcement for live show, which
Yes,
you know
yes,
better
yes,
than I
yes.
do.
3rd of November in Comedy Cafe Berlin in Neukölln, 8 p.m., €5 in. Corner Späti live. We are probably going to be talking about that guy who thinks he's the Prince of Serbia. Yeah, he's fun. So come on down. It should be a lot of fun. And we will see you next week. Oh, also, sorry, quick other shout out. We have bonus episodes out again.
Yeah.
We can't commit to a full schedule yet, but there are bonus episodes out. If you're not a patron,
We back, baby.
we back. So go check them out. Come to our live show. Do all the cool things that Flo said. Do not observe Flo. That is illegal.
Yeah. Don't even look at him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flo's pronouns are.
I'm
do
hiding
not
for the Belgian police.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
If you're a Belgian cop, stop listening 2 hours ago.
Damn, you're almost like Marx running from the Belgian police. All right. Thank you once again, Flo, for coming. And we will see you guys all for bonus or for next week. We don't know. Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Take care.
Au revoir.
Bye.
Bye-bye.